Hey there, West Michigan. Thanks for joining us here on this live stream. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens. We're keeping an eye on severe weather that is coming our way as we head into the overnight hours tonight. That's what we'll be watching very carefully between now and about 5 a.m. When a severe thunderstorm watch is expected to be in place for. Let me go ahead and back up a couple scenes here just to show you the latest radar showing storms moving their way across Lake Michigan at this hour. Those storms expected to bring the risk for severe weather into West Michigan. Wind is going to be our biggest concern for this evening. It's not a 100% guarantee of severe weather, though these storms have been producing severe weather all across Wisconsin and Minnesota. So we're going to have to watch these very carefully. I'm keeping in the process right now of updating our web stream here so we get it to everybody at home. And then we're going to briefly dip to black and then along with that start a cut-in for our TV audiences as well. So that'll be coming up here in just a moment. If you're joining us early, this is just the beginning stages of our live coverage here this evening. We're going to continue our coverage here probably for about the next 20 minutes if you're watching online. So that's going to be on Facebook, on YouTube, or on 13 plus. So I think I have got our current situation shared across to our audiences here, waiting for the counties to pop up in this particular map here. But what we're expecting to see is Muskegon, Kent, Ionia, Ottawa, Allegan, Barry, Van Buren, Kalamazoo, and Calhoun counties will be placed under a watch basically any time now once those pop up here on this particular map. I might need to just go ahead and I'll add a different view so we can go ahead and get our coverage rolling here. The National Weather Service, when they issue these alerts, they kind of issue them in stages. So we haven't seen all of those alerts work their way into this particular graphic that we're looking at here on your screen right now. So that's why we're not seeing that watch box in it. So, oops, closed the wrong window. So again, severe thunderstorm watch is going to be in place until 5 a.m. That's going to include counties that you're not seeing highlighted on the graphic right now because they're waiting for Grand Rapids to go ahead and issue what is basically their local version of the alert. But you've probably already gotten some alerts at home. You've seen it come through on the phones, and you've seen it come through the weather radio. If you have those weather radios with you, you probably heard those go off here this evening as well. So we will go ahead and get ready to, yeah, we can wait. I was just talking to our director back there in the booth. She's helping put our show on together here this evening. We'll be doing a cut-in full television-wise here in about 2 minutes, which hopefully is going to be enough time for this alert to go ahead and get populated onto the map. So again, the counties that will be placed under this, I'll just go ahead and draw a line here. It's going to be Muskegon, Kent, I don't think Montcalm's in, I think it goes to Ionia and to the south. So to the south of that yellow line is where we're going to see the watches in place for this evening. And again, going to continue until 5 a.m. I'm just going to go ahead and finish drawing this line on the map since they haven't filled it in just yet. So again, it's going to be these counties in here. It's going to be until 5 a.m. There we go. So there's the latest alert for you guys. All right. I can get rid of my poorly drawn lines. I'm sure you guys don't want to see those this morning. So again, if you're joining us on our digital stream, I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens. We are going to be going into some extended coverage on a severe weather threat heading toward West Michigan this evening. The counties highlighted inside the yellow line with the pink shading under a severe thunderstorm watch until 5 a.m. That includes Muskegon, Kent, Ionia, Ottawa, Allegan, and Barrie, Van Buren, Kalamazoo, Calhoun as well. The risk for severe weather is mostly related to wind tonight. Level 2 out of 5 risk for most of West Michigan, southwestern counties, places like Van Buren County down towards St. Joseph, Cass County. They have a level 3 out of 5 risk as storms are starting to work their way across Lake Michigan at this hour. Severe weather working its way through Wisconsin and into the Chicago metro at this time. We're going to briefly cut to black here and join our television audiences. Our coverage will continue beyond that television cut-in, so just hang tight for 1 second. We'll be right back with continued severe weather coverage.
This is a severe weather alert. You are watching 13 on your side.
Hey there, West Michigan. Hope you're having a great Friday evening. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens. We want to join you real quick to bring you up to speed on the latest weather alerts here in West Michigan. Severe thunderstorm watch is in place for Muskegon, Kent, Ionia, Ottawa, Allegan, Barrie, Van Buren, and Kalamazoo counties. This will be until 5 a.m. as a round of severe weather is working its way off of Lake Michigan at this time. A level 2 out of 5 risk covers most of West Michigan, with the southwestern regions under a level 3 out of 5 risk. Our big concern is going to be damaging winds as storms move their way across Lake Michigan. Here's where the radar is right now. Showers and storms working their way into portions of Van Buren and southwestern Allegan County with lots of lightning. No severe warnings at this time, though we're going to keep a close eye on these storms for the wind threat they produce and to keep an eye on that lakeshore interaction, because there is the risk for tornadic storms tonight, though that's not the main concern. The heart of the line is still working its way back out over the lake. You can see up through Lake Michigan, offshore from Grand Haven toward Muskegon and back out toward Sheboygan. The heart of that line, which has been producing severe weather, moving its way toward us this evening, that continues down through Chicago with severe thunderstorm warnings from the Chicago metro area all the way back out through LaSalle and toward the north of Kankakee at this hour. We're going to keep a close eye on these storms as they continue to push their way toward West Michigan and watch for any possible severe weather they may bring. There's already severe weather down in northern Indiana and working its way toward northern Ohio. If you're watching us on TV right now, feel free to join us on our live streaming coverage. That's going to continue after we get off the air here. You can find that on 13 on your side Facebook page, WZZM 13 YouTube channel, or 13 Plus. That's a free streaming app available on your Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV as well. We'll join that coverage continuing here momentarily.
This was a severe weather alert from 13 on your side.
And welcome back to our digital audiences. Joining us again on this live stream, I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens. We're going to take a closer look inside these storms as they work their way onshore at this hour. Again, the areas of concern mostly still offshore, though we are again seeing already strong storms working their way through portions of Van Buren County. Some really strong storms offshore from Berrien County and offshore from Allegan County as well. These storms have been really heavy rain producers. There's a risk for flooding as we head through tonight, as several inches of rain could fall from these storms, in addition to the possibility for hail, but most expectedly damaging winds. Currently no severe warnings here in West Michigan, though that watch was recently issued. If you missed the watch at the beginning of our coverage here, we'll go ahead and put it back on screen for you right now. It is going to cover a good section of West Michigan. That includes Muskegon, Kent, Ionia, and to the south, Ottawa, Allegan, Barrie, Van Buren, Kalamazoo, and Calhoun counties, all under this severe thunderstorm watch as well. This is going to go till 5 a.m., though I would not expect the storms to continue to be in place all the way till 5 a.m. They'll likely be exiting to mid and eastern portions of the state before we get to that particular time. The threat is in place for now through 5 a.m. with wind and flooding being our biggest concerns. Hail and the possibility for a tornado cannot be ruled out, but those threats are on the lower side of our severe risk here this evening. We're looking again at that line of storms, which is starting to work its way onshore. Portions of Van Buren County already dealing with it. If you're in Kalamazoo, the storms will be in your neck of the woods here shortly. I want to go ahead and just take a look inside these storms and see what kind of dynamics and structure we can see when it comes to hail potential. Definitely seeing at least some small hail possible, mostly down along the border between Van Buren and Kalamazoo County. Along 94 toward the Matawan area over toward Oshtemo, that's where we're seeing some possible hail at this time. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. Some small hail possible north of Bangor toward the south of Grand Junction as well. So we'll watch those areas. Also, we're seeing some hail offshore heading toward Allegan County. This will be in the Saugatuck area here, I would say, in about the next hour or so. If you're along 196 or planning to travel that, watch for the possibility of some small hail. Also small hail on the lake over toward the offshore areas of Ottawa County. This will likely come on south of Grand Haven, crossing US 31. Similar threats further to the north, still stretching out over the lake. That will probably need to spin around a little bit before it heads toward the shore. I would say no immediate threat in Muskegon County, but those storms stretch back out toward Wisconsin, so we'll keep a close eye on that. I want to take another look inside the storm. This shows us the wind potential inside the storms. Where you're seeing the brighter colors is where we would have the stronger areas of wind. So there's likely some strong winds right now, not severe at the moment, in southern portions of Van Buren County. That will likely be along 94 as well. Towards South Haven, we're starting to see some stronger winds pick up in their area too. If you see any area where they come together tightly, that could be indicative of rotation. That area we're seeing on the map there near Bangor, though, on the wrong side of the storm and mostly just outflow. So I would not expect any type of real threat from that particular part of the storm. But I want to go ahead and keep a close eye inside the storm as we head through this evening to watch for the threats of severe weather as they come together. We'll slide off the lakeshore here. No real sign of damaging wind right now coming from the storms that are heading onshore, but we will have to keep a close eye on that, especially as storms continue to develop. And again, some of the strongest still back off toward the west. That's where we're seeing the severe warned storms coming onto the lake at this hour from Milwaukee, Interstate 43 on the other side of the lake. The portion of the storm that was causing the warnings, not what we see out in front here, though we will watch this to see if we see severe weather come from it. We are watching what's coming on to the lake right now. This area in here was prompting the severe warnings on the other side of Lake Michigan. We also have to watch what's currently going through Chicago, causing severe weather at this hour, and again working its way onto southern Lake Michigan. These areas in here have been producing severe weather throughout the evening and potentially could continue to do so as we head into the next several hours and we watch those storms work their way into West Michigan, again potentially bringing with them the severe thunderstorm potential this evening. Again, winds and heavy rain, flooding rain being our big concern. Let's put this in motion here. You can see a lot of interaction going on over the lake. You see how these different waves are coming together, areas of building and developing, some shrinking, some growing. This is what we'll have to watch as these move toward West Michigan, because those interdynamics between the storms can spin up some strong winds, potentially strengthen areas to severe levels, produce hail, produce heavy rain, and obviously lots of lightning. If you've been on the lakeshore, you've seen tons of lightning here this evening. So we're going to have to watch this very carefully over the next several hours as they move their way toward West Michigan, with the risks for severe weather that is going to stay in place as we head through the next several hours tonight. Looking at the radar, just to make sure you understand what we have, there's different types of warnings now. It used to be there's just one type for each, a thunderstorm or a tornado, but now we have different categories, and their radar indicated some thunderstorm warnings can also have a tornado possible. If you see purple outlines on your map, those are the strongest storms, either the strongest type of tornado warnings or the strongest type of severe thunderstorm warnings. Those are the ones that take very seriously, and then we have different types of tornado warnings if those get issued for either radar indicated, surrounded there in the yellow, or in the red for a confirmed tornado. Of course, we'll be keeping a close eye on any of those tonight. The hour-by-hour forecast here, the models have not handled tonight very well. As you can see here, what you're seeing on there looks basically nothing like what the actual storms were doing. So I'm going to actually get rid of this particular map. We're going to go back to the radar for a moment while I get a better model to show you guys. because, again, having a track of where these are going is going to help you guys know when the storms are expected to get here. Already some storms, again, moving onshore. They're going to continue to do so over about the next hour along the West Michigan shoreline. Really, all of the shoreline should expect to see strong storms, at the very least gusty storms over the next several hours. The line back on the other side of the lake, that's still probably about an hour to 2 hours away from us here in West Michigan. This picture here going to show you a better idea of what we're looking at over the next several hours when it comes to storm threat. You can see the storms moving across the lake as we head toward 1, 2 a.m., pushing through West Michigan as we work our way toward 3 and 4 a.m., and then starting to exit West Michigan to the east as we head toward 5 a.m. This model also not perfect. They've really struggled with the severe environment we're in today, but again, better than the first one. So these are things we're going to be watching over the next several hours as we head through this evening. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Facebook here and see if there's any questions from you guys at home. Got a question here about Hart. You guys definitely could see some storms, but you're a little bit north of the severe threat, really where you see this kind of bowing segment out over Lake Michigan, stretching back around toward Milwaukee. It's going to come in here. Pretty much once you get north of Muskegon County, I think the threat for severe weather is going to be low. Newaygo County, not technically in the watch, but you guys may be close enough, especially areas southern Newaygo County, basically Fremont to the south, could see some storms. Again, Montcalm County, not under the watch officially, but I wouldn't be surprised if at least some storm activity makes its way through you. All of West Michigan tonight going to see some weather, whether it's severe or not. Expect thunderstorms, probably have the kids woken up overnight, possibly some very heavy rain. In fact, let's take another look inside those storms and just see the type of rainfall rate that we're seeing with these particular thunderstorms here this evening. We'll put that on the map, and the brighter colors you see very much like radar, but not quite exactly what we're looking at here when it comes to rainfall rates. So what we're seeing here down in Van Buren County is some very heavy precipitation over about an hour period. Radar estimates anywhere between 1 to 2 inches of rainfall per hour inside these storms. So of course, if they don't move out of the way very fast, and we're looking at several hours of this heavy rainfall here, we could certainly see some rainfall results like we saw earlier this week with ponded roadways, areas of low lying that could flood, areas that duck under bridges that typically flood could likely see flooding from these particular storms. And this continues all the way back out across the lake. All of these storms producing rainfall about 1 to 2 inches per hour, so that flooding risk is going to be a concern here tonight. And if you're driving before daylight, you're going to have to use extra caution tonight to see if any of those areas that typically flood do develop flooding. I wouldn't be surprised to see that here this evening. Ludington, same for you guys. You guys are a little bit too far north to see the severe weather threat here this evening. Let's see. Lots of people reporting hearing some thunder right now. Heidi and Teresa both reporting that. Certainly lots of thunder going to be with these storms tonight. And if you're on the lakeshore, you've already seen a light show for the past several hours. Stacy reporting lightning in Allegan. Yep, the storms are starting to pick up for you guys in Allegan County. Again, not severe right now, but the potential definitely there to see these storms develop in a stronger way tonight. Let's see, continuing down the line here. Norton Shores, you guys should be ready for strong storms this evening. Certainly a possibility. Some of those could make their way toward you. Whitehall as well. You're starting to get to the northern extent of the concern once you get to Whitehall. But still, I would say you guys definitely should be weather aware as we head through this evening. Bobby saying no rain in Grand Rapids just yet. That's right. Still not seeing that here at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and switch to just the Grand Rapids radar. That should get rid of some of the excess green on the map and show you where the rain edge actually is. So that is going to be working its way down toward just now starting to rain in Kalamazoo. Also just starting to rain toward Allegan, working its way toward Holland, maybe a few sprinkles, but most of the storms are still away from you. Grand Rapids dry, most of Ottawa County, most of Muskegon County dry. It is raining in Hart, but again, I would not expect a strong chance for severe weather for you guys up to the north. It's mostly going to be heavy rain. You guys definitely could see a flooding risk as we head through this evening. Really all of West Michigan could see a flooding risk as we head toward this evening. I want to pull up a different map here that'll show you the risk particularly for flooding rain as we head through the next 24 hours. This is going to cover most of West Michigan with some risk for flooding. That's going to go all the way up to Oceana County, Newaygo, and Mecosta, Montcalm as well. There's a risk for flooding, a smaller risk once you get north up toward US 10, but a level 2 out of 4 when it comes to the risk for flooding as we head here through this evening. Keeping a close eye on the latest weather alerts as they come in right now. There is a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for portions of Van Buren County. So let's go ahead and take a closer look back at the radar with that particular storm. Does have that indication that there could be rotation in that storm. Tornado possible with that severe thunderstorm warning down in Van Buren County. So you've been with us for the whole stream. We're going to repeat the process much like we did at the beginning, where we're going to quickly dip to black here and then join our television audience with the latest on this alert as well. Let me ask our director, what's our status back there right now when it comes to the TV side? Okay. Cool. Let's go ahead and dip to black, and then we will join our television audiences with the latest on this new warning that has been issued here in West Michigan.
This is a severe weather alert. You are watching 13 on your side.
Hey there, West Michigan. Thanks again for watching us here at 13 on your side. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens. The first warning of the evening has been issued for portions of West Michigan. That is Van Buren County, now under a severe thunderstorm warning. This particular thunderstorm warning could include the threat for a tornado, so we are going to have to watch it pretty carefully. It's going to go until 1:15 a.m. A severe thunderstorm warning was located near Bangor, 7 miles southeast of South Haven, moving to the southeast at about 10 miles per hour. We're watching for the possibility of penny-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this particular storm. So again, this is going to be a threatening storm inside of Van Buren County under warning until 1:15 this morning. When it comes to that risk for a tornado, let's go ahead and look inside the storm and see what we're seeing on radar here. And there are certainly some concerning features inside this storm, particularly what you're seeing on your screen right here where the reds and the greens are coming together. This could be an indication of rotation inside the storm that potentially could spin up a tornado here very shortly with this area of severe weather. I'm going to go ahead and show you both settings here at the same time. We're going to see the radar and then inside the storm, so you can see how the winds are blowing with the storm. What you're looking at with the greens and the reds are the difference between how wind is going toward the radar. Green being toward the radar, red being away from the radar, and again, where they come together, that would be an area of potential concern for rotation. What we're seeing right now with the strongest area of rotation, that is to the west of Bangor, so we're going to have to keep a close eye on that particular part of the storm. In fact, let me go ahead and switch back to just the inside view of the storm here this evening. That area of potential rotation is right to the north of 30th Ave, County Road 378, north of Bangor Township. It's going to be working its way off toward the southeast quite slowly, around 10 miles per hour. So it's not going to be moving here in a hurry this evening, but I want to go ahead and put the counties or the towns in front of this storm on the map here so you can see where the storm will be in about the next 30 minutes or so. So let's zoom out here just a bit and we'll track this storm off toward the south and east, again moving just at 10 miles per hour. So this is a very slow moving particular portion of the storm, but that's going to again really not get it anywhere with a name, just closer to Bangor here in the next 30 minutes or so. So let's go ahead and we'll back that up one and we'll track just a broader area of this storm over the next hour or so. So again, this is going to get it at about 10 minutes here, or 10 miles per hour. That's going to put it in Bangor at 12:52, and Arlington Township, that's going to be there around 1:15. So again, the storm is moving slowly, but potentially with the danger for rotation here inside that storm toward the west of Bangor, heading its way through Van Buren County. We're going to back this up just a little bit, and you can see how slowly this thing is moving. It's just just really kind of meandering its way across the region here. So this is going to be something to watch very carefully here over the next hour or so as we see how this develops. The severe thunderstorm warning in place till 1:15 in the morning covers most of Van Buren County from west of Bangor. This does not include 196 or the city of South Haven, the threat south of you guys there, all the way over toward the Kalamazoo County line for the possibility of some rotation inside the storm and the potential for some 60-mile-per-hour wind. We just got some new scans in here, so I want to update it real quick. We'll stay with this through about one more scan to see how things develop and if we see any more concerning features inside that storm. The area of biggest concern again is just to the north of 30th Avenue. That's where we're seeing the possibility of some rotation inside this particular storm. I'll back it up just one scan here and see how that looked at right about the point the warning came out. Was definitely at least a little bit more impressive at that point. Again here, the concern is for the possibility that we could see a tornado come out of the storm. It's going to be between County Road 380 and 378. This is north of Bangor Township, but if you're in Bangor Township, this certainly could be heading your way shortly as we watch this storm continue to form. The other concern we've been watching this evening is the risk for flooding, and we are seeing some flood alerts come in at this time too, because these storms are producing very heavy rain across West Michigan as they come through. Here's the latest flood alerts. We're loading them up here on the map. New one has just been issued in West Michigan, covers Allegan and Van Buren County. Flood advisory going to be in place till 6:30 this morning as the storms continue to produce heavy rain coming through the region at an excess of about 1 to 2 inches per hour when it comes to that rain threat here this evening. As far as what we're seeing for flooding, it's going to be the areas of low-lying places that typically flood. This isn't a flash flood warning, but a flood advisory in place here this evening. I want to go ahead and show the big picture on the radar again, just get you guys up to date before you send you back to regular programming. A severe thunderstorm warning for the possibility of a tornado is in place in Van Buren County. That's going to go until 1:15 this morning. Severe thunderstorms pushing their way onshore at this hour. We're going to keep a close eye on the storms as they do, because there's a severe thunderstorm watch that'll be in place for most of the 13 on your side viewing area. That's going to continue tonight until about 5 a.m. The counties that'll be highlighted on your map here are Muskegon, Kent, Ionia, Ottawa, Allegan, Barrie, Van Buren, Kalamazoo, and Calhoun. Under that watch, the risk is across the entirety of the region, with wind and flooding being our biggest concern. But as we were talking about, we can't rule out that tornado, and we can't rule out a hail threat either. We're going to continue to watch those storms here at the 13 on your side Weather Center and keep you up to date with our continuing coverage on our digital platforms as well. You can find us on the 13 on your side Facebook page, YouTube channel, our OTT streaming app 13 Plus. You can find that on Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV. For now, though, if you're watching traditional television, we're going to send you guys back to your regular programming.
This was a severe weather alert from 13 on your side.
And thanks again for joining us here on our digital streaming platforms. We're keeping a close eye on severe storms as warnings are in place across West Michigan. The area of concern right now is down in Van Buren County. That's where we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in place for the possibility of a tornado. This warning going to be in place until 1:15 this morning. We were keeping an eye inside the storm for what looked like it could have been rotation not long ago. So let's go ahead and dive back inside that storm at this time and show you what we're looking at. The concern was toward the west of Bangor to the east of 196, where there was some indication of rotation shortly ago. Good news here is this is no longer looking to be the case. We are looking much calmer than the storms that we saw just a short time ago. So let me back this up a couple frames here and I'll show you what the concern was. It was this area right in here where you see the reds and the greens coming together. That's because that shows an area where winds are both blowing toward and away from the radar, which would be an area of rotation. So in this particular case, the greens here, those are coming toward the radar. The reds, those are areas of wind going away from the radar. So this is where we were watching for the possibility of rotation west of Bangor, just to the northwest of Bangor Township. But we put this in motion here over the last couple of scans, and that particular signature is no longer there. So the good news is if there was rotation in the storm, it was very weak and short-lived, but something that could redevelop here this evening because that risk for a tornado is certainly not zero with these storms. So we're going to have to watch that particular aspect of tonight's storms pretty carefully, and also the risk for strong damaging winds. The other concerns with that storm down in Van Buren County, 60+ mile/hour wind and the possibility for penny-size hail. The good news, looking at the hail right now, what you would see here on the map is if you get those brighter reds and purples, those are areas of severe hail. Not seeing that. There's the possibility for some pea-size hail once you get toward Kalamazoo and over toward Alamo. But again, not seeing anything that looks severe, at least not here in West Michigan. You get down toward Three Rivers and over toward St. Joseph County, possibly some hail in their area. Let's go ahead and go up the lakeshore here. Nothing that looks severe in terms of hail. That's good news for the moment. But again, these storms can change and develop as we head through the rest of the evening. We'll take a bigger look here. Strong storms now working their way into Kalamazoo. These are heading toward and along US 131 in Kalamazoo County. The Otsego area, Plainwell toward the south, seeing some of those strong storms working their way all the way down through Schoolcraft and Vicksburg at this hour. Portage as well. We'll keep an eye on this area of storms. South Haven, you guys not under a warning right now. 196 not under a warning, but heavy rain pushing through, heavy storms pushing through all the way up north through Holland. Muskegon starting to see activity pick up. The same in Grand Haven. This is just rain, though, at the moment. No hail, no severe indications with these storms. We'll take a look inside your storms as well just to see what we're seeing. If we do see any area of concern with the storm or not. Purple doesn't mean anything. Purple is bad data, so don't worry about that. Everything looks mostly good from what we're seeing up there. We'll take a peek back down toward Van Buren County, again, where that severe thunderstorm warning was with the possibility for a tornado. You can see the box there on your screen where that warning is. We'll get rid of that. Here comes the newest data. Still looking good. I'm not seeing anything super concerning right now inside that storm, but it did spin up very quickly there, and that'll be the concern for the rest of the evening is do we see anything quickly develop, be that severe thunderstorm, be that the possibility for a tornado. So I'm going to go ahead and take a zoom back out here. Big picture, storms pushing across Lake Michigan, severe weather in place. We'll go ahead and recap things from the top here for our digital audience, and then assuming we're not seeing anything worse in that storm, by the time we finish that, we'll go ahead and call that the end of this particular live stream, and then if needed, we'll be back on throughout the evening. So let's go ahead and take a look through some of the Facebook comments that we've gotten since then. Since the last time I was reading those comments. Nuevo, you guys not under a watch or a warning at this time. Could see some strong storms. Again, Whitehall, we talked about that as well. Sparta, as far as Grand Rapids go, we are still dry at the moment. Eileen reporting is starting to pick up with rain in Mears, thunder and lightning in Dorr from sorry if I mispronounced that name. I believe that's Malie. Let's see, lots of lightning in Norton Shores from Janine. No rain just yet. Rain should be picking up for you guys pretty shortly. Same for most locations along the lake shore from Muskegon County further to the south. Let's see. All right, severe thunderstorm watch again in place for the counties that you see here on your screen. Muskegon, Kent, Ionia, Ottawa, Allegan, Barrie, Van Buren, Kalamazoo, and Calhoun. When it comes to the severe weather potential, level 2 out of 5 in place for most of West Michigan, level 3 out of 5 for those southwestern counties. Van Buren County included in that. The potential for that was 4 tornadoes. And again, that's what we saw with that warning that's out right now for Van Buren County. Severe thunderstorm warning with the risk of a tornado that is possible, though the past couple of scans have been better looking in terms of threat compared to what we saw earlier. Strong storms working their way now into Kalamazoo and southern portions of Allegan County. City of Allegan will see these storms working your way very shortly. Let's take a look inside those storms while we're here, see if we see anything that looks concerning with the newest data. Likely some strong gusty winds working their way into western portions of Kalamazoo County, eastern portions of Van Buren County. The area near Bangor was where we were watching earlier for the rotation potential. Right now, doesn't particularly look like there's much rotation potential in that storm, and we're seeing just some weaker radar returns in that area right now. So that's good news there. I think the severe threat is quickly diminishing for now, but again, we could see more develop here this evening. Let's go ahead and look inside the rest of the storms as we work our way up along the lake shore. Nothing sticks out to me and says immediate threat. So again, that is good news. But the risk for severe weather stays in place this evening until this line of storms works its way past us here in West Michigan. Multiple types of alerts possible these days. They've added to the list there. There you can see what we're watching in terms of alerts. This is the one that we have in Van Buren County. So that's, you think of it as like the second level of a severe thunderstorm warning. If you see any purple on your maps, these are the biggest concerns for severe thunderstorm, be it tornado or a severe thunderstorm warning. So we will definitely be on air if we get into those situations. The hour-by-hour forecast here, a little slow. I would say think of this as closer to now, so adjust everything by about an hour. So this would be closer to 1:30. Storms continuing to work their way through. This would be closer to 3:30. Most of the storms done here in West Michigan, and then storms pushing off to the east as we head into the rest of tonight and into the overnight hours. Sounds like we just got one more update from the National Weather Service, so I'm going to go ahead and see what that latest update is. Looks like they are continuing with the marine alert for areas offshore from here in West Michigan. No updates as of right now on the warning that is in place for Van Buren County, though again, all indications that I'm seeing are that that storm is no longer as severe as it was when the warning came out. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up our stream coverage here for now. We'll keep a close eye on these storms as we head into the overnight hours. Of course, you can see the latest weather alerts and our streams by downloading the 13 on your side news and weather apps. You can get radar and weather alerts for your location. They're available in the App Store and on Google Play. For now, thanks for watching. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens. Stay safe, stay weather aware.